Hey everyone, so here is some quick thoughts on the current price of Bitcoin and the broader economy. So the current price of Bitcoin right now is about $62,000, 62000, and it's just plodding along. So futures contracts were approved for IBIT, which is the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. I'm not sure when those will start trading, but they're in process. El Salvador continues to buy 1 Bitcoin every single day. I think they have about 5,400 Bitcoin. The Kingdom of Bhutan continues to mine Bitcoin. Let's see. It's just, step by step by step. It's just going through the natural process of adoption. So if you're watching the price 40 times a day like I do, it can get, it can feel like watching paint dry sometimes. So if you ever feel like, wow, I'm checking Bitcoin constantly, it just takes a long time for it to really get going. The answer is, well, every asset's like that. Every single asset, the Magnificent Seven stocks, which are the fastest growing 7 stocks of the last few years, which is Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, Nvidia, and Tesla, and a couple others. I'm missing 1 or 2 in there. It'd feel the same way. If you watch their price 40 times a day, over the last, few years or decade, you would feel the same way. You'd feel like you were watching paint dry and that it just takes forever for the amazing things that those companies are doing to translate into stock prices. And just like Bitcoin, when you do get a big run up in stock price, it tends to be, relatively short, as in a matter of days or weeks. And then the price grinds sideways or even down for weeks or months. And then you get a huge run up, and then it grinds sideways or down. And the reason those assets perform so incredibly well over the long term is because those run ups in price are much, much, much larger than the grinding sideways or even trending down that happens in between them. So in total, over time, the upside ends up being far exceeding the downside. And that's why if you check the price of any of the top performing of those 7 Magnificent 7 stocks over the last few years, over the last decade, it feels exactly like Bitcoin does right now. And again, remember, those are the 7 best performing stocks of the S&P 500. So if you were actually watching the other 493 stocks, you'd feel much worse because net the other 493 stocks all canceled themselves out, and leaving the Magnificent 7 to carry virtually all of the gains in the S&P 500 over the last number of years. So anyway, so even the best performing assets in the world, of which Bitcoin has been the best performing asset in the last 10 years, they feel exactly like this while we have to just patiently wait for the price to reflect the underlying value, which it always eventually does. Also, just to keep things in perspective, Bitcoin is still very early in its adoption cycle. So the price is somewhere, I'm guessing, 1.1 trillion, 1.2 trillion total value of the entire Bitcoin network. And so obviously, an asset that's very early in its life cycle, that's still a huge number for being this early. And so there's a lot of headroom, but it would also, obviously it would be odd if it was the most valuable asset in the entire world this early when only a few people, or a few percentage of people around the world were actually using it. So the truth is, a few percentage of the people in the world are using Bitcoin, and it's already $1 trillion asset. And I think long term, it'll be at least a $21 trillion asset, meaning it'll be in the ballpark of 14, 15, 16 times, or whatever that is, its current price, or however many X's that is to get from the current price up to 21 trillion, which would be $1 million per coin. So I think it'll get there. I think it's a matter of time, and it's just a matter of being patient. So I'll do some other videos, but just everything's right on track. It's doing what it should be doing, and it's all just normal, the patience of normally waiting for an asset to increase in value, and that is just what life is like in the world of investing, and that's what it's like for every high-performing asset, including Bitcoin. So I'll try to do some more videos, but have a great night, everyone. Thanks.